Hey there, investors. Do not buy IT service or computer software company stocks until after you see this video. Come on, let's go swimming with the sharks, and I'll tell you why. Hey there, investors. I have studied 44 companies from the computer software and IT services industry, and only 11 made our list. We're starting out with ANSYS, ANSS. They do not pay a dividend. You can see from this big nasty yellow bar, there's no dividend there, but they are a cash flow zero. So 17 years of increasing cash flow per share. Here's what that looks like on the long-term trend. And here we are on the year-to-year change. The next company many of you have heard of, I'm sure, Intuit, INTU. Their dividend is nothing to get terribly excited about, but that's not what gets them on our list. They are a cash flow 1 and an earnings 1. And you can see both of them took hits in the 2014 to 15 time frame. Here's their long-term trend. Here's that hit they took. And here's the year-to-year. The next name is also one that you would expect to see, Microsoft, MSFT. Again, their yield is nothing terribly exciting at 1.8%, but they are a Div 1 with their single flat year in the 09 to 10 time frame. They are also a cash flow 1, so while there may not be an income stock, they might fit another portfolio type. Here's their long-term trend lines. And here is the year-to-year change. The last company in the computer software group is Red Hat, RHT. They also do not pay a dividend, as you can see, but they are on our list qualified as an earnings 1 and a cash flow 1, taking their hit in the 05 to 06 time frame here. Their long-term trend lines, not too bad. And here is the year-to-year change. Okay, now we're going into the IT services industry, starting out with ADP. I'll bet you a lot of you use ADP, or your companies do, automated data processing, ADP. They're paying 2.5%, so that is just under the Dow Jones Industrial Average yield, which is 2.6 right now. They are on the list as a Div 0. Here's what their long-term trends look like. And here is their year-to-year change. Now moving to Cognizant Technologies, CTSH. Their yield at 1.2% is nothing to get excited about, but that's okay because they're not on because of their dividend. They're on because they are an earnings 1 and a cash flow 0. And you can see that their earnings took a hit here in the 18 to 19 time frame, so they're going to be dealing with that for a while, although that is still in the future, so you know that could change. They could become an E0 if they, depending on how those numbers play out. Here's their long-term trend line, and here's the year-to-year. Fiserv, FISV, they do not pay a dividend, but you can see that they are on the list as an earnings 0 and a cash flow 0. So 17 years of increasing cash flow per share and earnings per share. Here's their long-term trend lines, not too bad there. And here is the year-to-year. J. Henry Associates, JKHY, their yield at 1.1% is not real exciting again, but look at this. Cash flow, 1. Earnings, 1. Div, 1. And even more exciting, look at this. All of that took place in the very far left of our time frame, the 02 to 03. So next year, if they keep on doing what they're doing, next year all of those become zeros. So J. Henry clearly is doing something right here. Here's their long-term trend lines, and here is the year-to-year change. SEI Investments at 1.4%. They are a Div 0. Div 0, and here's what they look like on their long-term trend lines. You know, I can't call them an income stock. Come on, look at this. Again, let's go back. Sorry about that, but look at this. 1.4%, and just because they're a Div 0, you can't really call them an income stock. Here's their year-to-year change. Now, there was one of these software companies that used to be in this group, but they fell off this year, this time around. And that is Infosys Limited, INFY. They used to be a cash flow company, but their 08 returns, when they finally got finalized, actually went down, so they are no longer in the list. And then we wrap up with Tyler Technologies. Tyler Technologies does not pay a dividend. They make our list as a cash flow 1. Cash flow 1. All right, so there you go, folks. 44 companies from the IT services and computer software industries analyzed. 11 made our list, 1 fell off. So I'd like to know what you thought about the companies that did make our list, and who wasn't there that you were surprised about. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, please give me a like, a subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss any of the data that we talk about and share on this channel. And let your friends know about it too so they can benefit as well. Have a great week, everybody.